Okay, now then. Let's start by cranking down the volume. There we go, it's more tolerable for me. Right, we're back again. Back again. Had a good hour. Let's have a beginning at seeing this then. So I've got a list of things I want to do first. I'm going to try and stay on track this time and not get distracted. Right, so I need to identify the things on my list and then go through and fix it. So we're looking for assault rifle. Nothing on my list matches what I'm looking for. This stuff's a great start. Oh, no, I see. Right, so I've written this backwards. What I've done is I've written this, item name, this. Yeah, so I've made a bit of confusion there. So this is wrong. Sometimes when you do research like this, you end up with gibberish that doesn't make sense and you gotta go in and fix it, so. Now I'm more confused. Hang on. Trying again. So I know binary's a bit off. Binary's a bit. So this makes no sense. It's vague, and it's one of the things a lot of the research is vague. Frankly, I know what I was going for with binary, but I've been too vague. Too many to vague. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? I'm going to rebuild the data. So we're going to have the small arms sheet. We're going to call this old and then new. So old. New. Copy this over. No, we won't. We'll just copy these. Theory, this should only fit to the screen. Yeah, perfect. So data gets put in at least. So Right, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna pull open a Visual Studios file, and we're gonna start messing with economy code while we're doing this. So, create project, JavaScript, blank JavaScript project. Yeah. Project name yet? Solution name. Economy. Creating it. Probably game code already existed, which I'm highly skeptical it did. Okay. All I want is a JavaScript code file, so why is it being so complicated to make one? Close that. Create project, blank project. Okay. BCAIO. Let's FOI. I'm brain. I wrote it the right way, I said it the wrong way. Alright, we've got that. So let's switch to that view and we're going to start on that. That did not switch. There you go. Cool. I don't need to know about failure to make a project. All I need to do is new file, JavaScript file. Cool. Okay, we got economy 1.0. Let's identify what our economy needs to look like. So let's go to our doc. I have a rough idea, but I want to factor in everything. So let's see what we've got to factor in. You've got contracts, sales, negotiations. Okay. What else is there on the list? Cash flow, pricing, penalties, research, costs, market, these fixed events. So those are all the things we've got to consider that I can think of, unless I'm missing something. Am I missing anything? Don't think I am. That's the thing, I don't think I am, but I possibly am. This is a bit of fun, this, because I gotta really think about what I'm doing before I start editing anything or making anything. It's like a case of reading the doc, and I'll put the doc over here so I have it side by side for a minute. That is gonna mess with the scaling of the window, although it seems to not mess with it. That is strange. So even though this is squished, OBS is like fixing it, although it doesn't look good. I'll jump over here quickly and see it. Oh yeah, god no, that's horrible. Make it full screen and overlap this. Yeah. That solves that then. Okay. So, right, let me see. So what do I need to factor in to make the economy balance? So, let's do it this way, right? We've got income, got expenses, right? I need to work out the income of certain values as well, because if I'm not wrong, so economy is M8. We currently also have M6, which is the resources, so they need to be factored into pricing. So like you've got materials, should fall under marketing as I'd want to imagine. It's complicated. Me trying to work out how to approach this. Do I have a copy of the original market code that's readily available to me? So let's see. I should have. I do. Right. 101 kilobytes. Okay, that's a lot of code then. Ah, yes, it's got all the details. Perfect. Keyword search. Factors. Bingo. Okay, so it's page 73 as the documentation for this. Supply contracts and market. So what we need to do is implement the supply contracts in the spot market, clean events consistent, consistent naming and test group. I've done cleaning in the building, by the way, so it smells a bit like bleach. So that's why I'm coughing a little. So at the start of every scene, there needs to be an external event. Right, so... I do love this music, but I'll switch to rec. I'm gonna play some guitar someday. I'm gonna really piss off everyone that lives in the same building as me. Drink. Okay, that's better. Some nuts. There we go. Okay, so I've got all the documentation. So what I'm going to do, we're going to break it down into chunks. We're going to break it right down to chunks here. So let's see. So I need to get... What variables am I using? That doesn't really matter, but anyway. Anyone on stream? Nope. Cool. I'm trying to keep track of that, but I'm also I'm mapping out what I'm doing at the same time. Right, we're going to do it this way. These are the blocks we're going to put in. So we have an update material prices. Yep. Copy this to make my life easy. And indeed did not make my life easy by doing that. I feel like this is probably overkill, but anyway. But the modifiers to the market based on era events. So oil becomes more available, plastics become more practical, for an example. Pricing. Yeah, pricing. That doesn't need explanation really, but anyway, we'll say each month. Okay, so that's going to be our indices. Okay. I'm going to work out all the elements we're going to have here. Right, we'll have the supply part here then. So we'll do supply. Economy. And in this, we're going to need the a bit process, so process supply contracts weekly. I don't need to do like that. I'm writing as it's a function of that rate, but no, we'll just have that. It will be called that in a function. Add the materials to active contracts. Add route based cost modifier. So you have things like strikes, weather, regulations. To detect when material shortages to resolve, so resolve material shortage. That's going to be regarding detecting them. delays. Okay. Have a look. Have I? Yeah, we can close that for now. Yeah. Okay. We'll come back to this bit later. We've got most of that, so I want to work on these two bits first. I'm going to change music because we're at the end of that list, really. Ladders change to... No. Nope. Nope. What about this? Yeah, let's go for some classic music. Right. Let's see, let's have a see. So, trying to work this out now. Trying to work this out now. I'm a bit confused here. Okay, so we've got an idea what we're doing, but lagging. Why am I lagging? Why am I lagging? What's going on here? Steam. I'm lagging. Do I need to go? What is running on my computer that's making me lag? Control Shift Desk. Whatever it is, I'm not happy with it. Yeah, I'm lagging. This is dumb. Gotta wait now to find out what it is, because it's not opening Task Manager. Just to double check, I'm still live, right? It's my phone. Well, Task Manager's now opening. We're going to find out what's killing my frame rate, but still gonna have a look at. I'm doing good life-wise, yeah. Okay, yeah. Don't know what's lagging me then. Whatever it is, it needs killing in the process. Okay, well, it's gonna take a minute to tell me because it says there's only 25% of the CPU being used, which can't be true, and 70% of the RAM being used. It's Steam. Okay, what is Steam doing though? A Steam like... Steam is full of... What are you doing, Steam? I have never seen Steam crash my computer almost. Like it's struggling to crash it, but it's getting there. Now my computer's unresponsive. Okay. We recovered. Steam, did you close? Yeah. Oh, now OBS is playing up because of all this. OBS, you can recover. Task Manager is currently fighting with itself to decide which Task Manager is a viable one. I've got 7 open, somehow. Only pressed it once, but you know. Have I finished lagging? Yeah, I have. Is my stream good? Yeah, it is. That is... I've got 7 task... Okay. Close all the task managers. That's step 1. Steam is using 19 gigabytes of RAM. There's a memory leak. 19.6. What the absolute fuckery is this? What are you doing? It's not even downloading anything. Like, I might understand if it's downloading something stupidly big. There was a Pax Romana update while we were streaming earlier, which I didn't notice. Oh my god, that is wild though. Okay, well, Steam's now lagging us out, so we can get back to what we were trying to do before whatever the hell that was just then. So let's save what we've written out, so I don't want to lose this progress. As minimal as this progress is. Game code, game code, game code. Game code. Economy. Yes. Okay, let's take a minute. Let's take a minute. We're gonna fix something first. We saw it earlier. I'm gonna stop coding for a sec. I need to fix it because I wanna make proper use of it first, so is this music really loud? I'll just take off my headphone. You guys have the music nice and balanced, I assume. So, right, we're going to switch to the Photopea window. There we go. I'm going to close my window for a second on your end. I'm going to check why it hasn't got me my premium. Where's my premium gone, eh? How strange. Oh, I'm not signed in. Okay. Yeah. Google Pay, simple as pie. Make sure it's updated. Yeah, it is. Okay, so my subscription is valid though, so it doesn't need updating any further than that. Uh-huh. And I'm signed in. When's it invalid? I've got another 91 day. Oh, right. I'm Gucci then. Okay, switch back. Cool. Hello. Right, we're going to open the layers. I'm going to do a few things here. Find the page that's the problem. It's research, it's the interface, the RS base, the physical layer, and it has this weird error up here where it's got this export corruption where the color didn't match through, or it did some weird whitening. I don't know why. I don't have an answer for why it did that, but it did that. So let's try and fix that. Now, I should have, from when we used to do it this way, a copy of a PSD with the layer styling. I should have. Yes, I do. Game PSDs, and it should be... I mean, main menu shouldn't be an issue, right? It's main menu... Oh, it's just imported the main menu. That's not what I wanted you to do. I wanted main menu to be its own import. And in theory, this should be the same style as everything else. So if I was to go here and say, lay it on top, what would happen? Yeah, that's right. That's how it should have looked in the first place, but the layer didn't work. You can't see it, but there's also a white fade here before that. So it's like the black became white, is what I understood. Yep. Okay, we can close them. We can open GDev and we can have a quick look to see if GDevelop reflects this change or not. Yep, it does. So if I now preview this, I'll share my screen to preview. See that now? It's not an issue, so it's like the prototype page. Oh no, prototype page is just the same artifact. What is going on then? Right, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go back into the editor again. And we're going to fix that now. We need the prototype page image. Just do the same fix. I think some of these files got corrupted when I transferred them off another drive, when that drive was dying, and that's why we're here. Oh my god, all of them have the same error. And well, get me all 51. We got a RAM limit here. I'll let you go up to about 60. I'm trying to get it not to kill my computer by running something stupid. I'll raise you to 12. Right. Yes. Next. Yes. Next. Wish I could just say apply to all pages to all items. That'd be so much easier. Next. This is why I changed from doing it this way long ago, but this is the relic page, so we shall fix it this way for now, and later on change it in the back end. Shit. Okay, it's fine. What we can do is we can work out which ones were edited in a minute, and those will drag back in. How did you develop carpal tunnel? Well, you see, I was sat there and I was clicking layer, paste, and save repeatedly because no one ever thought you might want to replace all the layers at once with the same effect. I feel like this is what AI should be capable of doing. I should have to show it once what I'm doing and it can just repeat me. But that AI doesn't exist yet, not at least for screen control, although I won't trust it to do that in a million years. I think you can see what I mean. This would be a tedious task that AI should be able to do on its own. That I can understand replacing. It has no substantive value to me. But it doesn't exist, said technology, at least not for my access, maybe for big $1 million studios, but I'm sat here using Control V, Control S. You know, that before AI button you used to press to do stuff. Kids used to copy Wikipedia for homework, no doubt. I did just see that then where the UI's got those little balls to extend on it. Because it's a static image, they won't work, which means I have the joy of either removing them in a minute physically or editing later, but it doesn't matter for now once all these layers are pasted in. Right, let's find out which ones I missed. God, I'm so happy we don't do it this way anymore. It appeared just you. Okay. Yeah, it's literally just this one. Paste. Save. Yeah. Close. Okay. Let's go see then. Did we do a good job? Indeed we did. Nothing's populated here for some weird reason. It hasn't registered yet, so let's just quickly run that again. Yes. Ooh, what the frick's that artifacting up there, though? Now we got some weird effect going on this side. As if, and I could be wrong, but is prototype... This is why I don't like running the dev build. I know what it is. One sec. Desktop. Game files, assets, pages, prototype, dev build. Please tell me these are all specific sizes. I want to view the object. Get me the show instant properties. Yeah. Right. It clips it off. That sucks. Didn't think of that. It literally cuts it off no matter what the effect is. That sucks. Right. Well, it's a visual bug that will be fixed in the future. Because to fix that now will take a long time. Okay. Let us now switch to something that took forever to do. Where's my document gone? Okay. We're going to take a quick break, so I need to go grab something quickly. So back in a second. Okay, we're back. So let's fix a few things. Let's crank the audio down first. Now then, I want. I'm gonna do some data input for the game. Not leaking any game factors. So before I can do that, studio mode does jack shit when you're on the same scene. Jeez. It doesn't matter. I'll just add a layer on top and then that'll be it. So got 480. I wish these would be easier to do. Is it not a shape? A shape you can use, because I feel this is just tedious. Yeah, if I do a text, right, I have an idea. Hidden. Have there be a background. Alignment centered. That does not want to conform to what I want it to do. This is getting tedious. Okay, we don't care. Color source, we'll make it ratio, say, a 10 by 50. And we'll just crank the ratio up maybe by 2, 3. Oh, no. Screen, I'll shut the screen. There you go. Perfect. We'll just call that the okay, cool. And I'll pick a nice color for you guys. We'll have a nice dark green there. Right, so you can't see that. That's good. We're gonna probably obviously copy, pistol, paste it. Or no. Make sure this isn't a Word doc. Pistol data GD. And we shall delete everything but barrel for a second here. Okay, there we go. Got our very first value. And this value just needs to conform to our spreadsheet values. So what it doesn't need to have is the index is the value itself, so that's fine. Tier. We need to add tier. Tier. Here. And we'll add, so the year will be the year unlock. We'll keep that as it's called year. Rename it to unlock. Yeah. It's fine. Have a value called, let's hang on. Create a new one. Start from scratch. Just add a whole bunch of variables, right? Okay. Got name. Then we've got tier. Then we've got era. Unlock. Then we've got is default. By default, that's going to be no, but we'll do that in a minute. Is hidden. And that should be no, but anyway. I want to just anyway, editing to copy text. All I want to do is copy the freaking title. Jesus Christ. I made my life easier and start copying these over. What did I just do? I did just do stat accuracy? Yeah, I did. Okay, stat reliability. Stat handling. Stat recoil. Stat weight. Stat complexity. Test difficulty. Okay, add a few more children. Hidden risk. Failure severity. AI weight, so how the game itself will balance out its value. Command modifier. Reputational impact, and we're always one short when I do this. Always when adding variables, there's always one missing. That's just going to be legal risk modifier. Okay. Let me quick wash my hands. I smell like bleach still. 1 second, guys. I'm going to go back to the I'm not here screen for a second because I smell like bleach. You're here for a little while. I see you 1 second. Okay, I've washed my hands again because I'm not too worried about it. I was rubbing my eye on it. Smell my hand. I was like, bit bleachy. Not happy with that. My eye's fine. Just I didn't like the idea of rubbing bleach in there. Okay, what was I doing? So, yeah, now we need to go through and define what each type of variable is. And then I've got an idea what we can work on. So let's have a see. So we've got name, right? Name's text. Then we've got tier. Where's tier? Tier I'm going to keep as a number value. That's fine. Era is a number value. That's fine. Actually, no, era we're going to have text as well. Where's era? Actually, no, era should be a number. We'll have it as a number because it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, I don't make that complicated. So a lot of these are numbers. When's the next text one? Test difficulty was a text value. Hidden risk, no. Failure severity is a text value as well. So we'll have these set to default as low, or in fact none. There's a nothing, it's the default for them. And that's it. The rest of these are actually numbers. So that's fine. So that's our default data, so we can delete the old data. That's the new data values. So we're just going to quickly do an apply. And reopen it. There we go. Okay. Minecraft have given me a new achievement to get. What's the achievement? Tell me about it. Now I'm curious. So I'm supposed to be playing Minecraft, but I'm focusing on this update before I delve into that. Self my food. I'm just going to put together a bit more. So I was supposed to be playing Minecraft in the context of I was invited to a server, like a closed door community one. Shocker by Ukrainians. Because I'm exotic is one of the person's words. English. And I was like, exotic, okay, complimented already. Sold. And in reality, I don't know what it means. He means no, in the terms of, because I'm English. I'm interesting. For about a week, probably, and then I'll get boring. Okay, tell me about it. So, it's one where you need to hit 5 mobs with a spear. Oh, is it part of the spear update? Was the spear update not already out for a while, though? Was it like, in beta or something? 'Cause I've seen about the spears. You can ride a horse with a spear, if I'm not wrong. I'm sure it's been in my feed since like November, at least on YouTube. Oh, okay. See, I forget that there's 2 streams for that. Got Bedrock and Java. Java's the first one, because it's, PC is special. PC is their most important audience, Me rage baiting? Never. I would never rage bait, Your Honor. Alright. You know what I want to work on? We're going to work on it. We're going to create it. Okay. I've had this idea for a while now, so we're going to try and make it. Let's have a look. Let's have a see. I'm gonna find the file for it first before I open this idea. So we're gonna be back, go back. Okay, cool. I'm gonna then need to what was the error from then? I had an error then, but I don't know what gave the error. I had a dun. Like, So, yeah, so Cass, I took a brief break and then I came back after something to eat, but I've got my food with me anyway, so I'm snacking on going out. I'm going to be working on something, Cass, you might actually like. You like ghosts, and I'm currently trying to find... I will note, we made like a joking like AI version of this before there was an actual draft. One of the things that happens with art for this, if I can't describe an idea, I just throw it at AI and then be like, here artist, this is what I was thinking. Can you make this properly for me? My artist hates that. When I'm explaining to my artist, she's like, so you want what? But we had this joke. We had Eri the error checker. Trying to find the art, but I can't find it. We're going to use the AI art, okay? And then I'm going to message my artist, but I lost the file. Can you send me it again? So we're going to make Eri the error checker, guys. And Eri, this little joke that's now becoming a piece of code. What's this? Okay, cool. Eri's a little cool idea. Now, Eri's basically going to, when you load the game up and you load your save file, he's going to first check which version you're running to make sure you're running the correct version. But then Eri's also going to be responsible. Such a stupid name, but I wanted to make this for a while now. If the file's got corruption or errors or anything going on in it, it's responsible for identifying them, letting you know there's an error. It's named Eri the error checker. And then fixing it where possible. Really goofy name, I know. It came up in a drunk conversation, and then it became a real drafted idea a few months ago now. But I've been putting off making it, but I'm going to make it because we're going to have a lot of issues when this update goes out with people trying to load old saves. So Eri's going to be able to recognize the old saves and be like, hey, you need to play on this version, go to Steam, it's still available in a beta channel. Yeah, Eri the error checker. What do you think of that name, guys? Definitely a goofy name. 2.6. Is it not 2.6 file build? Nope. It is not. But what we're going to do then... I can't tell if this is the AI version or if this is the artist version. Is that scary? That I can't tell the difference anymore? No, this is AI because the artist would have fixed the mouth issue. I can spot already, yeah. No. I recognize game when I see game. Cool. Okay. I'll have a chat in a second. I'm going to introduce you to Eri the error checker. So there's many drafts of this. And it was one where there's like an error symbol but with a funny face. And there's a few others, but let's put Eri in the game. We're going to animate him at some point, by the way. There is an actual draft for animating him with the artist, so... yeah, I'll let it put Eri in the game for a second. I'll then go to the files and I'll move him to where he needs to be. Okay, it's going to disappear in a second, guys, because I'm going to put him as a global asset. Okay. It's fine, we'll add sprite from global asset now. I didn't actually need to do that. I could have done it through the resource manager, but this is because I'm streaming. I'm doing it this way. I don't want to leak too much fun stuff that's coming out. Here's Eri. He's all goofiness. 256 was his supposed to be resolution. How good is he looking 4K? Now I'm curious. Okay, this has not got the build, but there's Eri. Okay. Let's see. I joke about making a Bigfoot pizza off in Minecraft and it made it in Space Vision. That's not a bad idea though. What was that? Oh, I'm trying to remember it now. Bigfoot's trying to what me, was it again? What was its name? Cool. Yeah, that's gonna be Eri. So Eri's gonna have a persona, but in reality it's just a piece of code checking your saves correct, and if your save's wrong, it'll try and fix it for you. But it'll offer you options of how to fix it. Okay, Cass, what was it again? That was it. San Andreas 101, send me additionals. I'm being seduced by Bigfoot. That, if we had a 2025 best 2025, I would have put that clip in there in a heartbeat. And Trace 101 being seduced by Bigfoot. You know what you need to do? You need to go find him again and do it again to him. And just scare him some more. Anyway, there's Eri. This is what Eri looks like on scale, guys. I'll flip over to the preview. So that's Eri on scale. Let me just so you get this nice little Eri the error checker for you. And its whole spiel is going to be making sure your game save works. Because there's going to be times where there's an error or a bug or, you know, where even if someone edits their own save and doesn't know what they're editing, and it's going to have to spot for key things that would break a game save. But also spot for when you're trying to load the wrong version of a game save and that kind of stuff. And I thought I'd make a little tool in the game that will be responsible for identifying patterns of game saves using 3 different methods that I wrote up. The main one being just checking the game save version. If there's no game save version file type in the save, it's older than this new version. So, back on spent on Minecraft again, I am saved. Okay. How are you saved? Am I okay to show it on the Streamcast? I am, I'll pop it up in a minute. See if it's what's the resolution on this? How big's your monitor? I mean, the quality's dismal, but it's fine. Okay. Let me share this then. 1 second, guys. Let me chuck these off for a second. I'm gonna have to do it a different way. Let's get rid of the music for a second because I want the audio. Assuming there is audio. And let's do display. I can tell. I'm not sure about the resolution though. That resolution's throwing me off a little. Window capture. Okay. Attach it to the media player. Capture the audio. Okay. Is this working? There's no audio. But that is creepy as fuck. I'm gonna tell you now, Cass. It doesn't really look like Bigfoot. It's like a tree in a weird way. But I kind of get it because Bigfoot would be a bit hard to make accurately visible in Minecraft. That's the wrong screen. That's the right screen. So this is Cass's invention. I don't know what's happened to the resolution in this. According to the file, it's less than what would be expected. Okay, the closer you get, I see it. But what the fuck's going on? Is this the tail or something? did you really have to emphasize the nipples? This looks like a face within a face, my friend. PZ? Does it say PZ on that? His butt. Okay, so it's his butt, not tail. Okay. If you don't believe it, I don't know that much about Bigfoot. I know it's a guy in a costume in Ohio that runs around. No, I'm joking. I know it's a believed to be a creature that no one's got video of that's easily proven legitimate. That's not to say it could be proven legitimate. However, you know what I mean? It's quite hard to prove because there's plenty of people out there who are willing to make a book of pretending it's Bigfoot. Mole rat's good. Yeah, I was thinking Fallout mole rat for a second. I don't know what is with the resolution though. The resolution seems to be better when it's on his ass than his face. Like, look at this. Like, Cass, did you like send the video in lower quality to me? I'm gonna guess you did because the properties on this. Yeah, you down the scale and the frame rate. 2 stereo channel. That's because you've got OBS and 2 stereo. I'm gonna guess. Let me open it with better properties to see what it says in that instead. Okay, yeah, so the data rate, guys, for this is 1,000 kilobytes. So, yeah. So, Cass, this for the quality, what it would have been, should have been at least 6,000 kilobytes, and this is 1,000, so it's 1/6 of the correct resolution. Which is why we get this when you move, because it can't decide what to focus on. And then when it's only one little thing moving, the detail's higher. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what your setup is exactly. Your monitor is definitely a wide monitor. Is it 4K? It looks like it would be. It's not 1080p, I can say that much with certainty. It also has like a writer's monitor sideways, horizontal instead of vertical. So I swear it's a giant TV in his living room. That's 1080p? Are you sure, my friend? I don't think it is exactly natively 1080p if that's the stretch on it. Spectrum. Can you send me the specification for it? If you know what it is specifically. Because now I'm curious about your monitor. Put the music back on anyway. Spectre monitor 1080p. Let's have a quick look if I can find it. So it might be only one, but I highly doubt it. There's a 24 and a 27 inch. That's their most common type. It supports VGA? Does yours have VGA on it? Is it that old? I said I've seen some monitors still with VGA, but it's very rare now. So let's have VGA, you know what I mean? It's rare. Okay, go to display. And we'll throw open the capture with the little hider. The reason the hider's there, guys, is I don't want to spoil any of the new stuff, so... Although when I'm looking at Harry, it's... a mouse. I can't even find my own mouse. There it is. My monitor's that big, I struggle to find the mouse anymore. Okay. Let's put Eri up here. We're going to have to get Eri animated fairly quickly, I think. I'm trying to think now. Maybe it's stretched because the quality was 640p though. Let's have a look. What the resolution be ratio-wise? Yeah, so... Okay, I need to turn my music to brain this one out. if you took 1080p, right, which is 1920 by 1080, and took it down to 640, just mathematically speaking, that would mean it's wider than it is height to a 1.7-ish rate, which explains why the video's so long but not tall. So yeah, I understand your ratio's off because you've downgraded the quality of it. Strange how it's squished it, but it makes sense now. I was doing the math then and I was trying to work it out in my freaking head. Let's check that out with a calculator, shall we? 1.777 to be accurate. Okay, I can do mental math. I'm happy with that. So, Aries going to be here, right? Let's brain this one out. We're going to have the type of error up here. We'll have a way to change your language here. I'll have an interaction box here. And maybe a back to main menu button up here. What do y'all think? Cass, remind me, is the microserver to do with TRP itself? 'Cause I've seen it floated. I've just not seen anything else about it. Ah, your specs. Okay, I see. It's 21 by 9. Ah. Okay, so it's a 256 by 180p. Okay, so yeah, it is intentionally wider. Okay, makes sense now. So, your monitor's that strange that technically 2 monitors in one in width. Separate TRP. Okay. So what have I seen in TRP that's confusing me then? Okay. That would make sense because I was looking at other things. Is it the looking... no, oh, you mean the literal other games, don't you? A quick look. Yeah, I see it. By Dalton. 205. 205? I can tell if that's a 5 or a... Yeah, it's gonna be a 5, right? Why is Dalton using fancy characters for his name? I can fucking tell what it is. 1.21.10. I feel ancient seeing it say 1.21.10, considering I remember it was 1.8. Damn. Follow Discord, you can find a description after the trailer. Submit your application. Does the channel want to prove to be given a proper role to unlock the beta server? I mean, it's still relatively new. I mean, I see you posting that bee thing in it. Yeah, exactly. Me too, Cass. Literally me too. I remember back then we used to have like, oh, what was it? What's it called? Split screen. 4x split screen on a giant TV. Giant for the time. I think it's now like smaller. It's like 48 inch. That's stupid. Horrible though to play split screen in my opinion. I preferred the whole damn thing. Alright, so where the... See, I haven't watched the trailer. So how about we do it this way? Let's react to it. Let's react to the trailer. I'm hoping we don't get in trouble for reacting to it. I don't think we will. I highly doubt it. Let's see. As a collective, we shall watch together. Let's just switch window to it, be easier. Let's switch window to it. It will get the audio. That's the Discord. Now I'm just throwing up the Discord because apparently it switched to that. Oh, you're in the YouTube, cool. Why is Oprah not? Oh, there we go. Oprah opened. Right, is my audio on? Let's just get a little quieter. There we go. Oh, wait. There isn't an audio channel coming through because there's no capture. Sorry. There you go, guys. Okay. I love it. I know why it's doing that. It's on the wrong monitor. That monitor hates YouTube because it doesn't like scaling. I'll just flip everything around for a second. Okay. Damn. Okay. Ah, right. So that's a portal. I didn't read what the sign said. I was trying to... Something D, something S. It looks like defense, but I can't really tell. I like the graphics back. I bet it did. I really bet it did. I will point out, I need to go back. I like the font idea you came up with here. I do like that we've made your own little font idea. It looks very graffiti-esque. Graffiti-like. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's what I'm thinking of. The colours from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the first, what was it? First series? Series? Whatever it was. I was going to say, you're not going to convince me that a heart-shaped cave spawned in there. Yeah, it's too obvious, that one. You like the bees, though. That's a cool feature. Okay. Like a train station. Feel. Okay. No, I like this. Got an aquarium as well. I saw that. I eat my food while we're watching. It's going to make my life easy. Oh, it's not an axolotl. Is it kelp or coral or what is that? 1 second. First off, why are you deciding to run in the lowest quality possible? Okay. I don't want the command for this. Is it shift back? No, shift double. I don't remember how you used to do this. He's able to go back. What is that? It don't matter. I was curious what it was, but I can't tell. Moss. That's it. Okay. Pink moss. Okay. Okay, I like the biome for the bees. I get that. That's cool. Oh, they have it inside. Okay. Okay, hang on. This place has to be a bitch for mobs. You're not going to convince me that there's like 20 creepers just chilling in this one room at any time. This has to be a pain in the ass for them. I bet you come in here in survival and, you know, you've got fucking the king's fucking crowd of creepers over here. More creepers than them in Florida, eh? Let's not get political on that one. Moths job in lobby. Okay, cool. At least that's a benefit. Can't commit to more reward that long. Jesus Christ, not bicycle. Okay. My only grind with this, I only did archaeology for a few months, so I'm not gonna act like a font of all knowledge. You wouldn't have a pyramid this close to the ocean. Besides that, it's cool. My suggestion would be to just add a bit of land. Cool though. Okay, I like this. Is this done by an artist? It looks like art an artist would do. But I'm also split on if it's art or if it's AI, which is a sad thing to say because 10 years ago, you wouldn't have said that. Even 2 years ago. But I'm only saying that because the green here is suddenly darker than here. But the rest looks like it's not AI. It's got all the right shades, the right colors and depth. Very nice classical wearing down. Yeah, I thought so. I mean, it looks artist made. It doesn't look AI, other than this one weird. Maybe they did the gradient and it just didn't. Because that stood out like a sore thumb. The rest looks great. Cool. Hmm. Yasmin asks, is it survival or creative, Cass? I just realized Yasmin's on Twitch, Cass, and you're on YouTube. So she asked you, is it survival or a creative build server? Which actually is a good question because even I don't know. Let's just play a bit longer. That's cool. Yeah, for survivor. Okay. Survival, creative, and extreme terrain. So all three in a row in a way. Hmm. But is it, for example, with stuff like this, the spawn's obviously creative is my guess, and then the average player's survival. I think what she's getting at. Ah, right. I'm with you. Well, I didn't want to leak the URL for that. Sorry. I was in Oprah when I was playing that. Just trying that now while I remember to. I'll fill that out after stream and then and yeah, community updates, cool. Let's have a quick look. Let's have a see what the rules are. Respect each other, that's logical. Age requirement, that's logical. Privacy makes sense. Keep chat respectful makes sense. Who just pinged me? Oh, you, Casp. That's like who just pinged me? I can't even heart your welcoming back. That sucks. Why can't I give a heart at least to that? If you add a heart, I think I can add one, but then that, yeah. Keep chat respectful. Cool. Follow stuff. Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna skip over the common sense rules, including the common sense rule. Wait, you have a website? 1 minute. Now we're gonna critique your website. Now I want to see this. Yeah, pylon. Yeah. Okay though. No, I like it simplistic. It's simple to navigate. Not overly burdensome. Yeah, so he's using prior existing architecture to make it. Maybe disable this for a few things. You, I don't know if he's actually collecting that as a database like stores values or it's just going nowhere. Status. Does this work? It does indeed. Incident IO, okay. So there you go, Yaz. You get the idea. There's a creative, a hardcore, normal, and a survival skyblock. Help center, email support, and Discord support. Okay. I like it. I'm curious that if we go back, oh, I need to go into another window. 1 sec. Let's see. So you've got application, right? Just please tell me this doesn't go to a Google form. Thank God. I was gonna say if you went through all that effort to make that web page and it took me to a Google form, I would be so annoyed. That would actually annoy me. I'd be like, what? Okay, no, it's cool. How to report rule breakers. Now I'm curious. Report cannot process reports. Please use methods listed in the... Okay. Server for... Huh? Is this not the forms page, though? So, support can't process reports. Use the form. This is the form? If I'm not wrong? I mean, you need an account. I get that. What's login as a customer? Maybe that needs clarifying. Okay. My guess, this is admin, this is user. I know it's work in progress, but you know, you're on a developer's channel, you're going to get picked on for development factors. Ah. No, I like this. This is smart. I would like to see more because I'm willing to bet there's definitely more commands. But I'm understanding that this is still in development. So, cool. Apply only to... Okay. Cass. Let's see that big problem. I can find a place now. You can do, Yaz. You can go onto YouTube and talk directly to Cass. It might be a bit easier for you. I don't mind relaying what you're saying, but, you know, it becomes a game of telephone. Cass, one quick question. Is there both a Bedrock and Java then? Because bear in mind, I've only just read this, so if I'm missing that there's a Bedrock and Java to this, that's fine. Because the way that says that the commands are specific for Java, not Bedrock. Get pos, okay. So there's a... currently Java, we will have... Oh, okay. No, that's cool. Okay. I didn't want to click status. My brain thought it's where accounts are. Ah. Okay. I like the fact it has a page, though. This makes sense. I like all this. My only gripe is better labels for this. That's fine. I'm a bit curious to why this has a calendar on it. Oh, the calendar shows. Okay. Okay, I was going to say the calendar might be a bit pointless, but I can... Oh my Jesus. Okay, pro tip. Pro tip. Yeah, I was gonna say listing. What I'm gonna say, if you're gonna have maintenance like this, first, don't do it all like this. That's a key thing. If I did this in, say, a government project, I would be fired so fast I wouldn't even have a chance to get out the door. They would just throw me on the street. Purely because if you do an update, an update, an update, an update, all it's Minecraft, and I don't know what you're changing, that's got to be a bit of a burdensome curb for some users, like having to re-download certain things when they connect. And it just, as it looks here, looks crazy. I'm curious what you were doing in that time, though, if you can tell me. Oh my god. Okay, so that's when it opened. No, multiple connection resets. Unscheduled maintenance, so basically it crashed, I'm going to guess. Okay, so it goes back to June. So scheduled maintenance 1. Unscheduled. Oh, wait, no, outage. That's fine. So authentication, that makes sense. That was the Cloudflare one, I'm going to guess. Am I intentionally... No, I'm in dark mode. Okay. Yeah. This, I don't know what you were doing here. So I can't be specific because I don't know. It just feels like there's way too many in one block. It's almost a month's worth of restarts. And I'm gonna guess you were tweaking something minute, is my guess. And each time you just restarted it. Or you were taking requests for some small things we added one each day or something else. That's fine. There was because it was delayed. Huh? Now you've confused me. I'm lost a bit there. So what was delayed, sorry? Like the release or I'm confused. I like the calendar a bit. I when I first saw this, I was like, it's a bit empty, but it's a shame it doesn't say there's no incidents, just a green thing. It's just blank. Maybe a little key to tell you what each color means. That's what you could do. Have a key down the bottom that says blue means scheduled, red means not scheduled, yellow means technical issue, grey means, I guess, technical issue as well. Why is there a grey one then? I don't think you've picked the colours, obviously. Why do you need a grey one to reflect the same thing? Button. I want to see if there's a name. That's why we're in here. I was hoping it'd be like grey. Oh no, schedule means it's just. Oh, okay. So basically, you were at this time of day, then restart. At this time of day, repeat, 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 repeat. You weren't taking it offline. I get that bit. It's just more if you've got this many. I'm gonna guess you're Dalton. That's what I'm gonna guess first. It's cool to have you here. What's the help center like then? Oh, it just takes you back here. Okay. So can't change the color. No, 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 not change the colors. Have like a key that says blue's this, green's this, yellow's this, red's this, grey's this. I figured you didn't set the colors. I figured it's a calendar thing. Yeah, okay, it's Dalton. There is a slight delay for YouTube compared to Twitch. Twitch is instant. YouTube seems to have like a 5-10 second delay, even though it's set to ultra low delay. Strange. It is set to ultra low, right? I'm not imagining that. 1 second. Tube Studio. I feel like the restream might be changing the delay. Changes to list now. Okay, we'll have a quick look in a second. I think list might make more sense because, you know, it wouldn't look as complex. It doesn't say it's changed the delay factor on it, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on believing that. Ah, it has. It's no longer ultra low, it's low. Yeah, it's ultra low. It's supposed to be on, but it's set to low. Right, let's go back there quickly. View history. Yeah, this feels more nice to read. Because it just shows you what you need to know and skips over anything you don't need to know. And it seems to be grouping it as well to quarterly, so that makes even more sense. Yeah, Ultra is 3 to 5, and that's what I wanted it to be. Twitch, it is ultra low, although Twitch is default, that I think. But it appears YouTube has decided to be weird. Which now explains to me why Cass was typing something, and I was like 10 seconds after when I said it, it happened. I was like, huh. This feels nicer. My only new gripe is it isn't staying on the same page, but I don't think you can change that, so I'm not going to pick on you for that. Incident IO. Have I used this before? I don't know if I've used this before. No, we made our own. I had fun doing that when I made this one. I think a lot of users would be checking the website frequently for timelines. Yeah, exactly, Yaz. Exactly. I know I won't be unless I think my connection's not my fault. In which case, this is pretty much how that conversation's going to go, right? I'm not going to connect to server. I'm going to ping Dalton and be like, yo, server not working. Dalton's going to say no. I'm going to say yes, it's not working. Dalton's going to say, but what? And then we're both going to go on the status page and find out it's down. And that's how we'll know. That's pretty much a dialogue of the future right there. I've pre-predicted that one. because that's the only edge case I can see me ever looking at this other than to critique the page itself. I wish Incident IO had a day and night, you know, black and white mode, not just automatic black. Although it's nicer. I'm happy it's at least default to black. But I wish they made it optional, because if I was to try and force it, it wouldn't do jack shit. Yeah. Yeah, but Cass, that entrusts myself to one, be aware, but also Dalton to be aware. Say Dalton's like out fishing, right? He's in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden, he gets a ping from me, and for whatever reason, Discord decides that notification goes through. Although I'm going to guess it's not Discord you get a notification from. But let's just say hypothetically that's the case. And that's because his phone decides to filter it out because it's a common pesty notification. It's a spam. Because that does happen to me a lot where it filters out the repeated notifications. And I say it to him, and we end up using this page to prove it's true or not. Yeah, I don't know how old Incident IO is. I want to, like, know their history, but they have a blog. I guess their changelog will give me an idea of how old they are. 2025. I like this. I might copy this kind of style from when I build the next part of my website. Okay, so they're at least since 21. That's from 21. What in God's green earth was this? Well, I'm happy the work meeting had 0% beer. That stood out like a sore thumb. So, what am I reading? Otherwise, this is marketing material. Okay. Default. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. This idea of laying it out like this is cool. What's this? Oh, APIs. Okay. APIs and tokens. Cool. Private alerts and escalations. Speaking of private alerts, Bosch is now live. And he pinged me twice to tell me that. Thank you, Bosch. Mobile app. First class teams? What the fuck's a first class team? Catalog. Wow, we've never had a first class concept in Teams. If you manage all your Teams settings, easily reconfigure. Oh, I'm picturing Microsoft Teams thinking, what the fuck's that? Is it Microsoft Teams though? Because that don't look like Teams to me. Although that kind of does. So now I'm confused if it links into Teams. I'm assuming that for whatever weird reason, this Minecraft server has Teams. I highly doubt it. But I'm not going to say I'd be surprised if we do for some weird reason. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I would make if I was ever to need such thing internally for myself. That said, no. Yeah, I was hoping not. There's this thing called Discord that's been around a bit longer that might be a bit more useful for this. And weirdly enough, it's free. So I was hoping, for crying out loud. I mean, what's the pricing on this? Now I'm curious. Right. I'm assuming we only use the status part. So go away. I guess I have cookies. I don't care. Slack only. I'm not caring about this. Custom incident types. I'm going to guess that would allow you to have colors. Yeah. And alerting. Yeah. Well, having the status page gives you the history, though. So I understand the need for that. That's actually useful in a sense of technical. Unless you wanted to keep track of it yourself. Right. I'm a bit confused now. Alerts, oh, you on Pro? Is it Pro? Graph and hosting setup. Okay. Because okay, and now I need to know what graph and hosting's like. Is it... All this, I'm getting so curious over this now at this point. The team plan route. Oh, team plan. Okay. Okay. 1 second. Products. I'm gonna guess it's a server. So let's have a see. You've got logs, graphene. Just graphene, isn't it? I think I've gone down a rabbit hole. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting UI. It feels a bit strange with these, but it makes sense. Okay. Home energy. Oh god. I dare imagine what mine would look like right now. Website performance. 1 TB. What's that say? Logs. Uh, Someone's using a terabyte on fucking logs. Jesus Christ. Yeah, tickets on that site would be a bit of a weird approach. I would just use a Discord bot for tickets if I was doing it, because as much as this looks useful, in my honest opinion, all I see this being useful for is documents that look professional. Because all this would look dog shit in Discord. I'm not even going to be blunt about that. It would. This on here, I can click on this. It looks neat, organized, and simple. I don't need to have to look at the weird Discord layout of a message. I can see it all simply here, and you can organize it into the actual indentations properly. This is better. That's what I see this being used for. Having your commands, your rules. What else even got on here? Guides, other guides, I guess. That's good. Having support beyond this, I feel like adds a layer of, complexity. So yeah, exactly. Because this is professional. I'm a bit confused. 1 sec. Where was the get started? Get started. Apply. Is this linked to that, or is this another service? Like I'm learning about more brands than I need. No. Tally. Why does Tally sound familiar? 29 a month to use Tally. Oh, right, you can have a free form though. I like how someone's asked the question of this. That's for GDPR. Okay, that makes sense. How can I get started? Okay, it's a cool idea. What's the creating a form look like? Okay, we're gonna make a form. We're gonna make a form called form because we're creative here. Wait, what? That's strange. Right, hang on. It remembers as well. Damn. Templates. HR. Catering form. Why would a catering form be in a HR section? That is a weird place to store that. Dan, to be honest, we're moving to different system. I'm doing my best to consolidate everything into one, not multiple, but I haven't yet to brief our team on that. Yeah, I understand it. Making it all in-house is easier than, well, not make it in-house for you, I guess, because Well, you could throw together a form and a page, and I won't lie to you, making this is the easiest thing you could do. I don't know your technical level, but I won't lie to you, this might look complicated right now to you, but it's not really. The only complex part is maybe making editor to make it easy to make these, but even then, let's say you spent a month, maybe 2 hours a day, you could make all this in-house and save money. Because if you already got the hosting, I mean, this isn't going to take much at all. If anything, let's have a think. What would the database be like? You probably use mostly gig on a database at most in the entire time of its history. Even with the forms, it's all basic text. If you start taking on complex stuff, then so, home, home. Okay, I will argue that that feature you'll use it more day, but yeah, that's a good thing though. I like how you corrected your spelling learning, but it says learning correctly. Did you think it said I'm leaving? Because for a second I thought it said that, but then I read it's learning because I saw your correction and thought you spelt it wrong, but you didn't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's good. You will learn as you get along it. I remember having to host FiveM the first time I was working on that. And then we slowly consolidated it and we had it on different drives. So F drive was FiveM, T drive was TeamSpeak, and they were separated, and different developers had different access levels and different teams, different management. And this was complex shit. And then in the space of a year, I went from just working on simple scripts, in-house scripts, to what's the technical word? Oh, what was it called? Director of operations. That was it. So having to manage all those perms and all those access points, and then approve stuff like making this, for example, in-house. Um, I think the only issue I'd making this in-house was it took longer than we expected. We ballparked it should take no less than, you know, a month, maybe two, and it took 3 because of delays in between. I think the worst thing we had was we had to migrate from one hosting provider to another, and that was a pain in the ass. I'll be honest with you, I'm on the honest opinion you could make this fairly quickly. The status page would be the pain in the ass. However, it wouldn't be that difficult. It would just be making the APIs to check if it's up and how to interpret if it's up or not. Which, although I shouldn't say this probably has it on this page anyway, where you can just copy it. Um, however, for that specific function, it may be just more reliable to use the status page here, unless you were to work out every edge case for an error and interpreting errors, and you know, yeah. But I'd be willing to bet this page, if I was to go into inspect element, it would tell you where all these things are pulled from anyway, API wise. No, it's cool though. I like it. I'm a bit curious why this weird pinky purple magenta color. Is it default or is it chosen? If so, why was it chosen? Because one of the things I had to study a long time ago was color design choice. I probably spent more time learning color design choice than I spent programming for that first year. fact, yeah, I did, because I had a whole module on the damn thing. That would make sense. Okay. Perfect, that makes sense then. I'm not picking on the color. I'm asking what the decision was behind it. Yaz, I was trying to work out like why this color. It's also funny, Yaz, because your name is the exact color of this. It's almost the exact same color as this. But no, I was curious because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, why this color? Like a specific reason, you know? But no, it makes sense. It makes sense. I am happy though. I will say this: that you didn't do some weird purple green gradient. If it was 10-year-olds leading it, I can guarantee for a fact we would see a weird color gradient going on here. Um, my only curiosity, and Yaz, you can correct me on this, is this colorblind friendly? Because I'm not sure. I feel like it should be, but I'm not 100% sure, and I don't feel like pulling up the specifications for it. On eyeballing it, I would say it should be, but I'm not sure. What do you think, Yaz? Or even Dalton or Kaz, do you have any idea if it is? It's a weird edge case, but you know, it's one of those things you have to consider as the guy that made a game in green. And had to change the color of green to be colorblind friendly. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm not the only one thinking that. Okay. I will say this should be fine. It's the tinier text that I was thinking of. Because I know a certain size of text, it nullifies the need for it. If this text was 200 pixel, it would be obvious regardless. It just may look a bit weird to someone colorblind. Um, what's that agent? Yes, what's the specification name again? It's like disability. Is it DACG? DACG? What's it called? Can't remember what it's called now. What is it? Oh no, WACG. Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. Yeah, I only studied that for a few months. I spent more time on colors than studying the most important thing in that course. Yeah. Let's have a test then. Let's find out the easy way. If we grab this, we throw it into a checker for that. Is it compliant? Checking. Oh, oof, oof, oof. I've never seen that many technical issues. So I think some of them are false flags. It has to be. But it says 36 violations of the WCG. It's not a government website, so I'm putting a high standard on you. However, however, I've never seen it come back that much. Yeah, this would have to be if you want them to be able to see it if they're colorblind, just so there's a clear ability to distinguish. I feel like this is big enough. It's bold already from the looks of it, unless the font's just default that. But it would need to be either thicker or bigger, just so that there's an area that isn't. Because the smaller it is, the harder it is. It's the simple way to word it. So here, there's an easy way of doing this. If we get this color, which not the color. That looks like it's it. Is it a gradient? I changed that. I'm seeing no difference. Can't be that then. I feel like I'm looking for something. Oh, I wish it would update and move me up there. Is this this? Nope. Okay, where is the color? We're just gonna... Ah, there you go. That would probably be the color, right? If I started changing it. Yeah, cool. That's the background. And then the foreground is white. It would score a 5.6, 5.88. So it wouldn't even be a AAA or... Okay, hang on. No. Wait. It would pass graphic objects and user interface components, so text inputs. It would pass on larger check for both double and AAA, but it would fail, and I was correct on this. I'm so happy I remember this now. It would absolutely fail specifically on this. Color-wise, it fails this. This passes, this fails because of the size being small. Now it passes a double A standard, not the AAA. So, but I don't know what size this is. So let's see. It looks like 14. Am I right? 14. It's weight 500. 875 RAM. I hate when they do it this way. Calculator time. 14 pixels. It's 14 pixels. Cool. So, yeah, it would fail that. Now, if... Yeah, I thought they would offer that kind of knowledge, yeah. Good question. So I'm curious about this having alt text, actually. Now, if I hover it, I've already opened this, so it's a bit late. It doesn't look like it has alt text. There's no alt tag here. If I hover it, is there alt text? No. So, Dalton, you need to add alt text to this. But also, is this being loaded straight away, or is it being not prioritized? I'm being a bit complex there, but how is it? Is it flagged for it? Okay, that's my browser doing that. That's not relevant. It doesn't look like there's any priority on it, so it's not fixed the page. So kids, welcome kids, other than Cass, you're probably triple my age, no offense. Here's how this works. And this is the weirdest standard you'll find in websites. If you're going to have a website page, it has to be no more than 14 kilobytes. Now, if you ever made a website page, you will know very quickly that 14 kilobytes is nothing. Tiny. Dismal. So 14 kilobytes is very hard to reach as a goal. But does anyone in chat know why web pages are supposed to be 14 kilobytes? Hoping someone knows this. Anybody have a clue? Try not to Google it. Or ask ChatGPT. I'm hoping someone knows. I get Paint open for this. We're gonna have a full Q&A. I see you said join Minecraft. Okay, on Minecraft, yeah. Surprisingly, they don't allow me to add text for the logo themselves. It would need to be something on a Highland platform, but yeah. Alt text is highly suggested for screen. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah. Okay, so I don't think anyone knows. So, let us have a bit of Dan Explains time, eh? So back when I was in school, and we're going back to high school at this rate, we had to learn about this thing called TCP. Of course, Paint doesn't work like that. Hang on. Does Paint need to be captured as the game? Is that really what Paint classifies as now? Paint is counted as a game. That is wild. Okay, kids, let's break this down. Let's break this down. So, where's my what's my brush like? Where's my brush white? Change it to okay, right. Here's a packet. Okay. This packet is T. Oh my god, my brush is tiny still. There we go. That's too big. Oh, my writing's terrible. TCP. Right. So there's this thing called slow start TCP, right? Basically, all that means is we're going to start a really small amount. Let's say arbitrarily 15 kilobyte. Okay. And we're going to send that to the computer. Okay. So that gets sent. And then it sends back how much it can send and so on and so forth. It starts small, right? But one of those kilobytes is the data to check if it can be sent and received fine. So you're left with 14 kilobyte to send data. So if you can get your critical content down to 14 kilobytes, it means the second it goes to and from, your web page is loaded. If not, your web page hasn't fully loaded and the user's left seeing bits fill in slowly. So realistically, the way it really works nowadays is it's fairly quick. But if you can target for the first send, the second send, or the third send, that's good. Anything after this, crap. Forget it. Because it won't get through. Now, bear in mind, the way a slow start works is, guys, it starts small, it doubles up each time, so it finds it can't do that speed. So, in theory, you want to aim for, what, 50 kilobyte of uncompressed, being compressed into 40 kilobyte. So you can make a 50 kilobyte web page, and if you compress it down to that 14 target, all that means is your page is going to load practically instantly. Anything over this compressed value, it will take at least the second value to load, which can be between a second, a few milliseconds, you know. And if it takes longer than that, you're adding time. That's why sometimes stuff like Facebook or YouTube, you'll see it load in phases because whatever's prioritized loads first. So your account details, then the YouTube logo. That's why I was asking, is the Trilogy logo loading straight away? Which, if that's the case, it's going to take that phase up. How big is the logo file? Oh, here's why I was asking. The logo file is 513 kilobyte. So you're looking at slowing down the web page to at least 7 cycles slow start, which is huge. So yeah, don't prioritize this being loaded first. It's highly inefficient. And I guess you're fixed for that, honestly. Based on the size of the thing is how big? It's 23.19 by 32 pixels. This size does not reflect this in my opinion, but let's have a quick see. Let's do some math. Mathematics, woohoo. Okay, so that's what I was going to get to. Now then, Here's my rough math. If you're gonna do an uncompressed true color, so that's 24-bit, it should come out at 2.33. That's what that file size should be. That's what it currently is, because what I'm gonna guess is, I haven't actually opened it yet. It's just the native size, and honestly, if it's an SVG, that's fine. I don't think it is. What type of file is it? PNG? What is it? Let's open the source file. Let's go to source. Yeah, it's the full image. The full-blown PNG. Yeah. The only downside if you crank it down, don't crank it all the way down to that. Crank it down to say 1 divide by 4. Divide the default size by 4. Go that way. Because otherwise you're going to lose quality quickly with it. Oh, yeah. An SVG would be cool because then you wouldn't be bound by quality issues. You go as big as you want and as small as you want, and it would still look the perfect way possible. It's a lossless content, so absolute quality, I think my teacher used to say. But then again, an SVG file, um, it wouldn't be that big. It's just math of how to draw art, so it shouldn't be that big. Yeah, Cass. So the wallet needs opening again. Yeah, it's not an urgent thing though, Cass, but it definitely would be more efficient. Even though we're talking about milliseconds of time on a site that you're not really going to attract many people on in its current state, unless you're planning to expand on it in the near future. Yeah. A text logo? Text logo. I'm not quite sure you do need one. Because I feel like this is symbolic enough. I don't know. Also, is this just the home button? I click on this. It's a button, but it does nothing. It just goes to the page you're on. Huh. Go from here. It is a home button to the center of each page. Okay. Yep, you're good to make dinner. Enjoy your food. As I eat my mix of food while we're here. Expandable backpacks. How can you have a dirt backpack? The rest makes somewhat sense, but dirt backpack sounds crazy. I'm hoping this video is about making a dirt one. No, it was a request. You were asking nicely. You have permission to eat. Okay. These are cool. I kind of curious, how big of a file even is this? This wouldn't be relevant no matter what you did. You wouldn't compress it enough to make a difference. I hope I can get stats of this. No. Where's the stat button gone? I could have swore these be one you could see for videos. Give me that. Run it direct, it'll download it. How to do that. I'm more just curious how big of a file it is. 24 megabytes for that long of a time? Here, I'll tell you of a useful thing then to make these a bit smaller. It's called... This is going to make me feel old now, 1 second. Where is it on my application bar? I learned about this back in 2014 from a teacher. Handbrake. It's free to use transcoder. It'll downscale, not downscale, it'll reduce file size without reducing quality in most cases. So, and it's free. Sometimes though, if you run it through that, it'll make it bigger just because it's already as small as it can get, or you got the settings wrong. I recommend it if you're going to edit videos. I'll just make clips just because I don't feel like 14 seconds should equate to 24 megabyte. Well, I don't know the size of the physical file. No, it shouldn't. Looking at the spec of it now. It's just a raw file, I'm going to guess this, because it looks like it is. Yeah, I'm giving you a list of things to do at this point. That's just going to save you storage with Pylon as a suggestion. I don't know how much they charge you for it, if they charge you at all, if you got a limit, but that will save you storage, which will make your life a bit easier. Especially as this thing grows. So I'm going to bet this is going to grow a bit more. So you have more videos and more complex stuff, so... Now I'm curious. You've got TikTok, you've got YouTube, and you've got Discord. Okay. Yeah. You just got to tweak around with Handbrake to get it right. I'm going to mute that just in case it's copyright music. Oh, it's just a song. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. That's cool. So you've reskinned the pumpkin to be a Santa's hat kind of thing, or a Christmas hat. Cool. Okay. Like how we're just nosing onto this onto YouTube at this point. You've actually got a lot of subs. That's what you got to be mindful of. You've actually done really well. What's your average view rate then? Hang on. 500. Okay. So you're averaging 1,000 views each shot would be a fair estimate, right? I'd say 900 because you got some dips. So I'd say about 800, 900 per video. It's less per video, which it's on track for YouTube. That I can understand that. Yeah, I know it's Cass's area. Yeah, you mentioned before. Redstone tutorial. Oh Jesus Christ! I know for you guys it's quiet because I have it cranked down, but for me that came through really loud in my headphones. That's how little of sound it needs for my headphones to be loud. They're too effective, is the way I word it. I'm gonna say it as someone that has dealt with server like management. I honestly feel like a mod at this case would be more efficient for the server's sake. Just because all the block updates. Imagine if everyone had their own elevator run at once in the server. All the chunks updating a block each tick, while everything else is naturally going on. Jeez. That would be interesting. But it's still cool you made it redstone. Meanwhile, this is the layout I'm playing around with right now. So I think we're going to go with it this way. The changes are here, so separating it up. Yeah, this is for a menu. This is just like a general sketch of it, really. When it gets put in the game, it's going to look a bit different because it has to be rendered by the game and it has to have all the text different because it's got to render the text in the game for the translations to work. So all the text you see here won't be the same, and you won't see a lot of the stuff the same. Yeah, well, if you build your most complicated elevator, which I understand what you're saying because I remember when it was in its infancy, you're going to find out very quickly how server performance will dip if everyone decides to do that. I don't know the specs on the server, but I'd be willing to bet at least 10 of those running at once will be a problem. Here's a good question. How much RAM does the server use, if either of you know that? What's the RAM spec on the server? I don't know how many people are actively on it at any time, but I would like to imagine it has at least a decent amount, given how Minecraft isn't necessarily known for being RAM efficient. Although you can do server-side mods and user-side to make it better. I'm actually just sat here waiting to see what the RAM spec of the server is. Okay. Mm-hmm. 16 gig. Okay. What's it usually peak at in a daily activity? On your most active day would be better a metric, really. When Kaz isn't crashing it for specific data, please. This reminds me once when we had to get a different server. What was it? 48 gigs of RAM, just because of how many people were on at one time. And then that turned out not to be enough either. Okay, 2 to 3 is good. Okay, that's good. Actually, that's quite efficient. Thinking about it, not bad. But yeah, 5M server. It kept expanding too quickly, and the growth rate was just too stupid. And I was getting to the point like, what? Can we like stop bringing people in for a minute? Let the server specs get handled because we can't keep updating these daily. But yeah, we had that, and then there's a Ukrainian server I'm currently in as well, and they have 2,000 people on a day at any one time. They peak at 2,000 and they drop to about 1,000 in the evening, and even at late hours in the early morning, and that it's 400 people. It's never gone below that usually. And when it does, it's because it's an air raid siren going off. But I was seeing that and I was like, this is batshit insane. And I heard what the specs for that was, and I was mind blown. We've got 2,000 people all accessing a database in a modded version of GTA. Different functions, all having all their stuff tracked at all the same time. Markets, cars, properties, shops, everything. Fucking insane, that database. I dare imagine what it's like to maintain a server that's 2,000 people at any time, and you can't just turn it off at any time to do maintenance. Yeah, it's a bit insane. But yeah, um, hmm. I'll have to talk to you at some point, Dalton, and pick your brains about how you set all this up. More of just curiosity. Right, let's have a see. So we're going back to the area check. I need to. I need to make data code. Where's my notes for this? And I need a haystack this. What is this? This is the problem when a game gets so big, you gotta find where shit is. Even though it's in the same document, it's like keyword searching and you can't remember what the keyword is. I'll just scroll through all the pages so I spot anything that reminds me of it. Is there an error event in? Okay, so here's the fun I'm gonna have with this. Let's I already researched this. I don't need teaching, thank you. So it's gonna be a little hell because I gotta catch errors using JavaScript only. There's no built-in function for error catching. So Harry's going to have his own little function. Let's make it red to match his silly little color. Dalton, if you know what I'm making here for my game, I'm making this little happy nice thing, an error checker. I'm giving it an error checker a face, a bit like Clippy. Literally is like Clippy, actually, the idea. But it's not like Clippy. All it's going to do is you'll load the game. It's going to check that your game saves are valid for that version of the game. If they're not, it's going to do one or two things. Is the game save older than this build, meaning is it 1.3.1 or older? If so, that's not compatible. It will tell you to go load it in the beta 1.3.1. I'm going to leave it as like an old build in Steam. If it is compatible, but it's more like old but not outside that window, then what it's going to do, and this is going to be joyful for it, it's going to try and fix it to match the save, but it's got to be able to identify when that happens. It's also got to identify when an error happens, where data's missing in a save and where a save's corrupted, and it's got to be able to fix that somehow. So I need to identify save structure, identify how to identify an error, which there's no function built in for that. So I guess catching exceptions maybe works, but I don't think it will because it won't have the exception in the first place. And then I got to trust it to be able to do all that without cocking up someone's save that didn't need fixing. So I got to set rules of how it triggers and when it's useful. But what I'm going to do for it is I'm going to have it debating this now. I'm going to have it have kitten gloves, right? So it's going to have gloves on its hands, basically meaning, right, say Cass plays the game, Cass's save doesn't work the next day because he used Steam Cloud. Cloud thought I uploaded the whole file, but only uploaded part of it. It cut off all the important information, but left the hash of the file or whatever, right? Assuming Steam doesn't fix that, which it usually does, this could fix that. It could get the data and go, okay, it should be this, this, and this, and fix it. Apply the fix. And here's the kicker. What if it gets it wrong? How does Cass know he got his full save? Two ways I could go at it. You just let it save it as it is, and then that's fine. Or have a preview where you can load it without saving it. Just load it straight into the game memory, play through, see if it works, and then save once you're loaded in. If you're happy with that. So then it needs to have a condition to check that you're happy to make the save, which commits it back to storage. So it's going to need a lot of functions. The nice face is just to make it look nice. It's the only reason it's there. There's no other reason why Eri exists, other than a drunk idea that became a reality. Um, we were just drinking and we were like, wouldn't it be funny if we had an error checker called Eri? Like, yeah, Eri the error checker sounds cool. And we're like, yeah, let's go for it. Doesn't match the theme of the game at all. But it's probably going to be something I'll use in all my games. Just have Eri in all the games. A consistent feature. But I got to get him animated. And that's going to be the fun thing. I am positive that my artist will love me for making them animate this stupid thing. I'm sure they won't cry themselves to sleep tonight when I message them that later. Because I don't know if this is the one they made or this is the draft using the AI. I think it's the one they made because it got the... Yeah, it's the one they made. You can see the stylings. Proper border with highlight glows. Yeah. It looks really good, I think. So yeah, my artist has got to animate this face, make it do some funny things, a bit like Clippy. Make it judge the user for all their sins, and hopefully not shoot themselves in the process. Actually, no, he can't shoot himself because he doesn't have a gun currently because of the yeah. No, I'm good then. Perfect. He won't shoot himself. He'll just wish he could. I'm hoping he's watching this right now. Got he and a she actually, I think. So let me make sense of that. We have the iconographer who also does animations. That's a Ukrainian. Then we got the female one that isn't a Ukrainian but speaks Ukrainian, but speaks Russian, speaks a few other ones, Belarusian, all them. She has a gun. I probably won't give it to her. She'll kill me. He doesn't have a gun because his country's at war. It's a bit weird, but anyway. I think he donated it to the army. You know, as you do. Um, and I think I'm going to give it to him, not her instead. I'm debating it. You know what? Let's reach out. Let's go message him. Let's see how quickly I can make an artist unsubscribe. If you get my hint. I remember once we were working on the game for iconography, and I said to him one morning, "I just need a few tiny things," and he's like, "Yeah, sure, sure, just let me know what it is." I then went back to him with 56 requests, and then I was like, "That's not enough. I've got another 100." Dude was like, "What the hell is this?" Yeah, well, originally I told him it was like 4 things, so 4 became that. That then dragged it out, but he did a great job. He really did it really well. So, in fact, I can show you what he did if we go into the game and we go into core. We run core. Core isn't actually a scene you're supposed to run. Core's where all the elements are. See? Also, if you're wondering why it's a bit blurry, it's not the game. It's in 4K, but the font doesn't seem to like being in 4K bold. As you can see, he did a good job. In fact, can I press I while in this? No, I can't. And then she worked on this with me. I had fun downscaling all the stupid state flags because none of the state flags like an even logical. Oh, just as you can't see my screen. Oops. Let me show again. As I was saying, none of the state flags in the United States are like a fixed ratio, which I think is the dumbest thing. Hence the name United. You'd think there'd be a United standard of flags, but anyway, so I had fun, scaling them down with Nevada, California, for example. So she worked on this, and he worked on these. If you can't tell, he's more like a 2D, not, you know, strong in cartoon. And she's more like a geography-based artist that can do a lot of stuff. So, yeah, you've got America, suck it up. Well, actually, you know the funniest thing that happened to one of the flags? I can't remember what it is. Well, let me pull it up quickly. This is gonna make you laugh. So the Minnesota flag, the flag had an error, and that one flag was corrupted from Wiki. I pulled it. I was like, shit, I gotta fix the flag. So I spent half an hour trying to get the right angles to make it representative. And then I find out somehow in the middle of the process, a lot of the flags didn't scale correctly to what I wanted. So I now have to either go fix them, or we like see with this, it looks a little weird, squishy, but it's not a big issue. That's the only time you see the flags other than the main menu. But yeah, as you can see, it is highly detailed. We had to reference several pieces of data to get this right. And then drawing the hitboxes, I had to draw all the outlines. So sometimes you might be able to get it while you're not actually hovering it. So, but I'll show you how that looks so you can see my personal hell. This took a day practically of my time to get it right and then check it. We go to the map and then we switch the scene to the map. And let's pick Texas. Right. If we go into Texas's collision mask, these are all the coordinates that I decided to reference Texas with. And you'll see down here, I followed that little reef instead of trying to match this. Because like, nah, we're not going to try and match this. Nah, we're going to go with the outline of Texas the best we can. So yeah, basically I had to drag and drop each one into place. And it's tedious. Like if I go here, I can demonstrate what I mean by that. You drag, you drop. And it takes forever. That's your home state? That's cool. But yeah. Texas wasn't the worst. It was Michigan that was the worst. Because Michigan has these two islands and this little one up here. So it overlaps quite a bit, but it's also annoying to draw the outline of. So the worst complaint I have though is the zoom feature in this. I can only zoom in this much. So in some states, this is nothing. Like Texas, it doesn't zoom in enough. So yeah. But yeah, the layer's drawn, then it's drawn over. So if you're inside that collision, you'll count instead of just what would normally happen without the collision mask is anywhere inside this square would count. So that means this, and this would overlap all the same thing, really. So if I clicked here, I'd get both. If I clicked here, I'd get both. Same with here. You have to have collision masks, and it sucks to draw them. Absolutely horrible things have to do. So yeah. So what we're going to have happen is we need a global function for Eri. Eri needs to run on every scene to check for the triggers. And then if Eri triggers for some reason, he needs to bring you down to his little lair and tell you all the reasons why you done goofed. So, where's draw.io? We need to outline what Eri's going to detect. So I need to get the save file next to this so I can work this out. Let us begin planning out Eri. Although I need to go in a few minutes, don't I? I have that call. Damn. Right, first off, make a list. Always my favorite thing, going in here making damn lists. This list's gonna be what triggers Eri. Like I'm even capitalizing his damn name. I tell you, my neighbors are gonna hear the word Eri all week now, and they're gonna be thinking, who the fuck's Eri? And then someday they may see this and realize Eri's a fucking program. 7, 6, okay. 360. If I duplicate that to here, perfect. That's fine. Don't need that then. Right. Style. What triggers Aries and be blue? Things that trigger Airy, right. Save. Oh. That would be a bug. Let's do it this way. So core data would be sec, do that. I'm going to select all, do that. We're going to change this. So core data is invalid. So core data is going to be the name. So company name. Trying to think of things that we want to monitor that should be key to a game save that would still function. Okay. Why did I indent that one? So game items is going to check to the JSON file. And if it's not there, it'll just load it. Oh, hang on. This. What else should trigger Airy? No data, core data. I guess we could check for corrupted data. Or if a save doesn't load on time. Oh, you can't unindent, you have to save location. Yeah, that's a fair point. Save not found in location. Because it will be a fixed location on computer. So that's a fair point. Save load time exceeds set value. Because usually gdevelop will get hanged on a save. So if it can't load it, it will stay frozen in that state until you have a timeout value. Save contains value. This is going to be separate to that. Save version value is null equaling 1.3.1. Because there wasn't any version values in those saves because there would need to be one. It's all unified until this big change. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Trying to think now. I don't know how you do a user triggered error. Like if you think there's an error, I mean, if it doesn't detect it, it's not going to make a difference. Like an Easter egg trigger. That's going to be unrelated entirely. You can just go have a chat with Eri with predefined answers. What else could trigger it? That might affect modders. Currently, there's no modding to the game. So, but if it loads something that is not in the list of known values, and it loads up many of them, not just one, then it's an issue. I think for that, I'll set it at 124 as the max before it counts it. Well, that's reasonable enough for modders because I don't know what else they'd be adding at that rate. I think that's enough triggers for now. I can't think of any other things that could trigger it. Or what should trigger it, I should say, really. Right, let's... Oh, hang on. What triggers Eri? Okay. Then let's define what Eri can do. Because, you know, he's going to need kits and gloves to some degree. Okay, no, I do need to wrap up actually, so I'll get called. Right. So, I'm going to play with this tonight. I'm going to build it out, and hopefully by tomorrow, I'll have some form of area to show for it. With that said, guys, thanks for watching the stream. I've enjoyed entirely. Dalton and Cass, I will reach out to you and just have questions about how you're running the server purely. I'll try and get that application tonight as well, just so you guys have a chance to look over it at some point. Although I probably won't be on tonight, but you know, I'll try and get it in. As for Yasmin, I hope you're enjoying your dinner. I don't think Yanoa joined back this evening stream. If you're there, Yanoa, hello. Thanks for joining. And for anyone else here, hi. But with that said, I'm gonna dip out for now. I'm gonna go have another meeting because my life seems to revolve around meetings. And thanks again for you guys showing up. And I will be on tomorrow at some point, probably around the same time. I'll probably start around 12, stop for an hour, then continue onwards. But yeah, thanks guys, and I shall see you later. Goodbye. I forgot the music wasn't on this entire time.